Hey guys, today I'm going to do two stories. I'll post them separately, but I missed last week because it was so crazy, and I had a request come in for Ehud as one of them. And this one is a great story if you're kind of upper elementary. Boys especially like this. It's a little bit gory and gross, and it'll be just a little bit more interactive for me today, explaining it to you. This story is found in Judges 3:12 through 31. Very short, very sweet and to the point, but lots of guts and gore and excitement. So, and you left-handed folks will love this one too. So, Ehud was a left-handed judge, and it plays significantly in the story, as you'll see. So, what had happened is the Israelites had kind of once again walked away from God, and in doing so, God let them have their belly full of what they wanted, and they ended up being oppressed by their enemies. So King Eglon had gathered up or allied with a couple other kingdoms, and they came and overtook the city of Palms, which is referenced as Jericho, the area where Jericho once sat. And basically, he let the Israelites live, but they had to pretty much pay a tax to live. So he would go and collect taxes from them every year. And as Israel began to cry out to God, save us from our oppressive enemy and all of this kind of stuff, he raised up Ehud. So the elders assigned Ehud and some other men to go and pay their tribute or their tax to King Eglon. And King Eglon was a big fat fella. He was very full-figured. And he had, when they went to go collect the taxes, they all went in, they dropped off the taxes. And then Ehud turned around and went back with the men of Israel to a certain point. Then he said, why don't you guys go on ahead? I'm going to go back to the king. He goes back to the king, and when he goes to the gate or to the kingdom, he says, hey, I have a message for the king. And so they let him in. And of course, they always do this check, which is why I'm wearing this shawl today. A lot of people back in that day wore a cloak. And what is so significant is, this is my right hand. I don't know how this is going to turn out on there, if it's backwards or not. But, so if you're a right-handed person, you are going to carry your sword on your left side so that you can draw it out. So when he goes to do the sword check, they're like, you know, hey, you can go see the king, but, you know, are you cool? And he's like, see, no sword. So he goes in, and he goes to meet with the king, and he tells the king, I have a message from the Lord for you. Can we go somewhere private and speak? So the king kind of kicks everybody out, and they go to the place where the king covers its feet. Do you know where that is? Think about this. When you go to the bathroom, your pants go down, it covers your feet. So they go into the bathroom, right? And they're in there talking, and basically Ehud draws out his sword. He's the left-handed swordsman, so here's my sword today. He takes it out, and he stabs it into the king. And the king is so fat, it says, that it swallows the hasp or the handle of the sword. And he's in there trying to pull it out, and he can't pull it out. And it says the king's guts squished out around it. And finally, he couldn't get his sword back. So he jumped out the window. He kind of went out through the bathroom and ran back to Israel to go and collect people to help come back and overtake the kingdom. During this time, while all this is going on, the king's men are kind of sitting outside the bathroom like, boy, he's taking a long time in there. Wow. Do you think he's okay? He's been in there a while. Finally, they get kind of panicked, and they break down the door, and they see that the king has died. By this time, Ehud was on his way back to the castle, and they overtook Eglon's kingdom, and God restored peace to them once again. So, but what a fantastic story, full of adventure and blood and guts and victory. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. It says that once again, the people of God, you know, praise God, they enjoyed peace under him, and then wait until you read the next chapter. All right, thanks. I hope you have a blessed day.